maybe we can do this at the beginning and at the end, but we'll give Sister Carl some time.
Now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or would you prefer it?
No, that'd be great. I
Okay.
just want to take a really, hey, it's great to be
then
with you
we'll
and probably
echo.
put faces with names I've been going over and over and over, so it's great to work with you. I'm excited, we're excited to have the sports specialists in your club. I hope you use them. And you are the boss, so you tell them what you want them to do. And if they get annoying, I've heard sometimes they get annoying, let me know. You know, if they, some get too bossy, tell you to do too much, or try to take over, let me know. That's not the program. We're just supposed to be there to help you in any way we can. You just think, hey, how can we help you? You know, maybe you need brownies for your gospel forum. Hey, get them to do that. Maybe you need a ride. Anyway, whatever you need, you be sure to use them. And do you all know who your people are, who your support specialists are? Is there anybody that doesn't know who theirs is? That's because they're going to be assigned tomorrow. We're going to put Papua New Guinea in soon. So that's
Sister Cuddles.
be sure to let them know when your gospel forum is. They can't come if they don't know when. And a lot of them complain, say, hey, we don't know when. We haven't gotten emails. But you guys use email. Or you used to always do text.
Or Facebook.
Would you please open your email? Because I don't text. I've got this old-fashioned phone that, you know, you have to, so I don't text. So email, open your emails.
Just curious, who uses Facebook to communicate with their members? Is it, or who uses email? Which preferred? Both. Both.
Okay, so email's okay? If it doesn't get, okay,
Just call them.
well, the problem is we don't have a lot of phone numbers. And something like there's 130 kids in the Korean club.
Call the support specialist. Tell them, but you can email the others.
Oh, I'm in contact. Old people answer the emails. That's not a problem. So you young people that don't look at your emails like we do. So anyway, keep in contact with your support specialist. Anybody that would like to participate in a devotional, let me know. It's fun to have. I like to use you people. I also choose people to give prayers and scriptures. If you'd like to give a prayer and scripture, they want leaders, and they'd like to let you be the ones that do it. So I'll send out an email to you, and if you just say, hey, I'll be glad to give a scripture or a prayer, let me know if you'd like to do it, because I've had several of you do it. You gave one, you've given one, you've given one, because I like to use it. And remember, Give and Take is now open 9 to 4:30 on all days, but on Friday and Monday and Friday is open till 6:30. So if you've got new people coming in that need anything, send them over to Give and Take to get your stuff free. It's what students select. So please use Give and Take. We'll have people to help with taxes later on. We've got a man who is willing to help you with your international taxes, because you can't, if you'll tell your club members, you can't file them as a citizen. You have to file them as a non-resident, or else you get real trouble with the U.S. government. So be sure to do that, and we'll have someone to help you with that later. Is there any questions? Anybody? I would like feedback how we can be of more help to you too. If there's anything that we can do that you can say, hey, or something that you don't like, or please just give me an email. It'll be very confidential, and we'll try to. We're just here to help you. Missionaries are non-threatening. We have no authority. We can't do anything. We have no, so we're just here to help. And whatever we can do, let us do, okay? Okay, it's great to be with you.
Thank you. And for those who want to learn how to be very inspired in finding their spouses, Sister Carl would be the expert. So we thank and appreciate you this past devotional. I enjoyed that one. And Elder Carl. I look forward to the next one. All right. To begin our lesson today, let me just give you a little reminder. I hope you're beginning to see more and more the value and power of your presidency. That you're meeting with them because it is the first step. Our first lesson was about vision and sharing the vision. because everything that we'll be talking about right now will depend largely on the strength of your presidency. So today we'll be diving a little bit more into management, specifically task and people management in relation to your responsibilities as presidents. Let me just direct our attention to the focus of this training program and just ask the question, why do you think we are focusing so much on you, the presidents, as we talk about training? Why are you the superstars? Aside from the fact that you guys are superstars. Why do you think we're focusing and investing so much in you guys?
Because I think learning is not stuff. Yeah, example, you're a president. You are entitled to receive your relations to our members. So, your relations you cannot come from the bottom, go up, come from the bottom. So, like, everything has to start with you. And
There is no other way. It really does, in any organization, the top, the leader, has to be the strongest.
I like the way that he kind of pictured the thing when he talks about the bottom and the top, And he said that as a president, we start from the top, and everything goes to the bottom. But if we see in another way, it is also because us, president, we are learning from the bottom, so we can be at the top
That's
as well. So the fact that you are talking about few things, a little by little, every Wednesday, it is actually learning from the bottom. So when those people in our club will be asking for something, we will be at the top, and we will be the one that will tell them the answer. This is like that. That's it.
Very well said. And I hope we're beginning to see that. The reason why we're investing a lot of this is so that we can share it to our members. I was talking to a few of the presidents here. You guys are really doing a pioneering effort. If we continue on with strengthening ourselves, the day will come when presidents of chapters don't need to be stressful. We don't need to be stressed so much because everybody will get in their training. I like the analogy of the chain. There's a principle that they call that the strength of a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. And definitely in the chain of leadership, the Alumni Relations Office understands this, and we will give our best to make sure that you will be the strongest link in your chapters, so that the chain of leadership will continue and the chain of the chapter will be strong. Let's also face one quick reality before we jump into the lessons that we have. So, as you assess your lives as not only as chapter presidents, where does your chapter responsibilities fall on your priority list? You have a lot of things to do, right? Your academics, your love life. If we are to write down that list, where does your chapter responsibilities fall? At the very top? What's that?
Is that a rhetorical question or?
No. You can answer.
Third place.
Third place.
Not because I want to, it's because I have to do school and work for it.
And that's exactly the point. We just have to accept the reality that I used to be a chapter president. And I can tell you right now, my chapter responsibilities were on the bottom. Because my academics goes first, and then my colleagues goes first. And it doesn't mean that my responsibilities as chapter presidents are not important. But when I do my priority list. And so that's the reason why we really wanted to strengthen, we wanted to help each other to strengthen ourselves, so that our chapter responsibilities do not have to be on the bottom, being left behind, but they can be alongside with all of our other responsibilities. And there is only one way we can do that, is if we're on top of things. Because a practical reality to this is when there's when you have an exam and you have an activity, which one do you go first? The exam. But hopefully, even if you have an exam, your responsibilities are not being left behind. Please.
I think like the way to see that is you have an exam, you have an activity at the same time. You want to make sure that you didn't get the work. You make sure that everything is go well, you plan well, you have your presidency, and when you go to the exam, you know everything will go according to plan. It's all about communication and planning.
Absolutely. And that's what we'll focus largely today, is how can we strengthen ourselves so that we can be on top of things. And to illustrate that, we'll have a quick activity. As a matter of fact, we'll do this within 5 minutes time. So we'll have this group right here, same groupings right here, and this group over here. And your simple instructions are, when I say go, we start going. Yeah? You can open the bag. All of those that are in the bag are resources. And your time limit is 5 minutes. And when I say go, you have 5 minutes to build a school.
What?
School. In your best interpretation using those resources,
What are we doing?
build a school.
Build a school.
Yeah, a structure, looking like a school. Okay, I'll time you 5 minutes. Any questions with the instructions? The instructions are simple. With what you have, build a structure looking like a school. Go. And once you hear the beep, then it's done. Yeah, whatever you have, that's it. You can use the clipboard as a base. It's up to you. You can write. You can do whatever you want with the resources available to you. You have paper. The tape. The tape is what you'll use to. By the way, we will have Sister Cottle and Corbin judge who has the best looking school. And the winner will get a prize.
Where's the little circle? Where's the little circle? This one. Oh, we're gonna use
Just so you know, you only have 3.5 minutes.
use this one.
Build a school, not destroy a school. Just kidding.
That'll be the inside.
Yeah, that's
Two and a half minutes.
5 minutes?
2.5 minutes.
Okay.
Press this one.
You know, you use aquaponics.
You can stand.
Oh, we have 4.
1 minute 55 seconds.
5 minutes? Look at that. Look at the beauty.
I'll see you guys.
The windmill.
Mr. Cottle, it's pretty good, huh? To have all the presidents together. And get to spend a little more time developing the leadership and
know that there's a group.
right.
50 seconds.
But before there was never any opportunity for the presidents to work together or learn from each other.
Strengthen them and then they're assigned. So you've sent this, so
30 seconds.
Jody's gonna have a list of who to.
Yeah, I sent it to their secretary. Somebody
Okay, I'll go check it out.
and I copied in William Umonga.
She's got those people over there. That'll be great.
No.
Because I'd like to give a list of each chapter so they know
The support
who.
specialist.
Oh, TV.
We, it should. I don't know why it didn't get done at the very beginning of the semester. So,
Here you go.
That's it. That's up.
Okay. We got it.
Alright? Alright, give yourselves a round of applause.
Hey, you got it. You got it.
Just to make yourselves happy.
That's a whole campus.
Alright, take your time. Go by your school. Go by your school. One, two, alright, take your time. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Take your time.
This is the library.
You need some explanation?
Yes, I need a lot of explanation. Okay,
Our tour guide here.
1, 2, I can't see tonight. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
They only have one.
Alright. Good deal.
That's too small. What? What is that? That is a whole campus, man. That's only road.
Alright. They're two in the parking lot, yeah?
Yeah, perfect. We have common unit, man.
Okay, our lesson today is not about fighting who has the best. But before we go to the lesson, let's just give Corbin and Sister Cottle judge.
Oh,
Who they think has the best.
Oh my word, this looks like where I live. This looks like some of the new buildings on campus.
Actual children now.
Corbin, you have to decide. These are.
Do you need some explanation?
are they going to give an explanation after? This looks very environmentally friendly. With the
Open air.
windmills.
Yeah, oh.
That looks a lot like BYU in 10 years from now, and it's 2 stories.
That's even got
Illumination.
We also have children.
Black. It's a black flag.
Alright, who do you think has the best looking school?
Who's got the?
This is just for fun. It's nothing architectural or anything.
One is school, that's a modern design.
That's Polynesian style.
Yes.
We don't use chopsticks.
What do you think?
We have to agree on the same one, or?
You go
Yeah, you have to agree. We can only award one.
Okay.
2 story?
Okay.
2 stories.
All right, here we go.
So you want? So the bag is for us.
Yeah, I need to get one more. Here's your reward. See, you got the best looking bag. You guys can go to the.
You want it? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You guys can go to the farmer's market now and the alumni office. All right,
So you have free tickets for
we
us
do.
to go?
Congratulations. Okay, we actually have quite a lot to talk about today. But in the aspect of managing resources, what would be your assessment with the time limit that you have? How did you guys do it? How did you manage your resources?
For us. So yeah, just
We
like
need to
the
okay.
just like the Salt Lake Temple at the beginning. We had to change the basement. So right here, what we've done is everyone has an idea, random idea, you know, and the fact that we communicate,
Okay.
it will also you will also see that there will be one leader, and there will be one person who's gonna say more than people. Maybe you should do that. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this
Sure.
one. We don't know who did the most, but there's one that did more than any other.
Okay.
When we think.
Yeah, using different
And
roles.
yeah, the fact that there's one leader that rose up and then that tried to help out people, and then they gave their feedback about maybe we should do like this,
Yeah.
and then that's how we manage the rest.
So it seemed like from this group, one resource that was managed well was the human resources. And that should come easily to us. We can easily relate to that because as presidents, you have a strong amount of human resources. The question is, are they being used? So, anyone wants to comment about the time?
The time?
Yeah, you only had 5 minutes to do it.
One.
Huh? Oh,
I think it's how well we manage work under pressure.
yeah.
Because it's like one of the most important skill in any business or any kind of professional job that you be able to manage, to do well under the pressure or time limits. You know, we were able to make it good. It's that we're talking about school, like exam, and also an activity. You want to make sure that you get everything done. You have this amount of time to study and to communicate to make it work done, so that you can go and you make sure that so when you go take exam, you know that it will go well. It's a matter of a skill that work under pressure.
Absolutely. And is that an exaggeration of what really happens in real life, or that is realistic?
That's realistic.
Yeah. And hopefully we take this advantage of this opportunity to do it while we're in a laboratory, college, to learn everything here, because once you graduate from here, there will be deadlines. The world is not as merciful as what we have in this bubble of BYU, where our professors are so nice and you can, but outside, deadlines are deadlines. You can get fired for not meeting deadlines. So I think we're beginning to see the full picture. Let me just so we have a working definition. Oxford defined management as the process of dealing with or controlling things or people. So the challenge, I would like to have you ask yourself right now, this becomes a rhetorical question. What is your current management approach? Or do you even have one? Because isn't it interesting, you are managing, some of you, more than 100 people. And if there's no management approach, then it's really hard to understand all of these things. So we would like to present to you, there's a lot of disciplines. But we would like to present to you two management disciplines right now. They're my personal favorites. But hopefully this will be the beginning of discovering more management approach. One is management by objectives, and the other one is management by meaning. There's a background to this, and at the end of this class, I hope it becomes apparent now that your assignment is to decide what management approach should I start taking now. And let me just share with you something very practical. I just turned in my application this morning for my master's program. And in one of the essays, the question is, what is your management and leadership style? And what has been your experience in doing so? And I just thought about you guys. If you would start identifying which management approach I want among the many disciplines that are available, when you are asked that question, then you already have an answer. And the rich experience, even at least 2 semesters of leading your chapters. So let's start by, and then there's techniques. We narrowed this down specific to your responsibilities. That's why techniques are task management and human relations management or people management. 2 of the most, I think, the ones that are very available to you guys at your disposal. And it's just a question now of they're available. Are we managing them properly? And then financial management. All right, let me give you a background. Management by objective. This is the simple description. Na, can you please read this for us?
Yeah. By objectives. Motivating people by aligning their objectives with the goals of the organization.
Can we relate this to our first lesson on shared vision? Oh, by the way, all of this is available on Canvas, yeah? So, can you see the relation with our first lesson and this one? If all of us understand the objective, how we manage them is we align them with the objectives. A background of this, it was, Aaron, can you please read this for us?
Management by objectives was introduced by Peter Drucker in the 1950s and written about it in his 1954 book, The Practice of Management.
Anyone familiar with Peter Drucker? He's known to be the father of modern management. He revolutionized a lot of management in the 50s. And this is his simple 5-step process. Set organizational objectives. In our case, we already have the BYUH mission and vision. And so we make sure we bring it down to our people, cascade it to the employees. Because if it's a shared vision, then it's not just you pulling the weight. Our role then as presidents is we monitor the objectives that is being brought down to our presidency. In your case, the presidency. We evaluate performance and reward performance. And once every project is done or whatever task is done, it always goes back. The beginning process is always, let's understand objectives. What is the objective? As a whole, presidency, or you can do it per task. So this is one management approach that you can consider. I've been in my experiences with projects and stuff. This has been my guiding light. And if you research more about Peter Drucker, it has helped a lot on them. So this is at your disposal now if you want to start thinking. By the way, as we are discussing this, start thinking of your chapter. Always have your chapter in your minds, your presidency, and then just have a visual. How can management by objective be your guide? Management by meaning is fairly new. Malachi, can you read this first, please?
Managing by meaning is recognizing that people are human. They have rational, cultural, and emotional relations. And they appreciate the person who brings a meaning for them to embrace.
So this is a fairly new discipline that came out. Anyone, does this sound familiar to anyone? Management by meaning? Who do you think introduced this discipline? Any idea? Steve Jobs. Good job. We should give you more. We should give you a candy or something for answering correctly. Steve Jobs. Why?
Because I read the slide.
Oh, you read the slider. See, that's smart. She read in advance. But yes.
I think it's because in his lifetime, when he was starting off as a CEO of Apple, he was actually fired first because there was too much pressure on the employees. And later on he came back, but I think that was the biggest lesson that he learned in his lifetime, is actually seeing the people as the humans, they're actually not technology. There is a way of managing and talking them.
Yeah, I like that. I think we can get we're beginning to understand why Steve Jobs has done, he actually applied managing by meaning, giving meaning to, just like what it says, but he used technology as a means to give meaning to the creator and also to the users. And I think we can understand why. It's because of his vast experience. So the question for all of us is management by meaning, giving your chapter members meaning to some meaning to what they're doing. So these are again available at your disposal. It's up to you. As the president, you can decide. You can even do a hybrid of what management you would like. I'll just go through this. It's just saying that Steve Jobs, in his experience, the iPhone revolutionized technology, because what Steve Jobs actually is sharing to the world is the experience. And that's his guideline ever since. Even I was at a meeting last night. I've seen a presentation. You know the iPad?
Yeah.
For those who are there, don't answer this. But why is the iPad shaped like that? The corners are slanted or curved. That can be it. So it wouldn't hurt anyone. But from the perspective of Steve Jobs, is he wanted people to hold the iPad. When they see it, they want to hold it. Because research has shown that when the sides are curved, people would like holding things that are curved. I don't know the rationale behind that research.
This is psychology actually. When you're more attractive to things that are round than to things that are sharp.
Yeah.
So that's why the fact that you shape the things as round is kind of a first appeal for you.
Yeah, true. And Steve Jobs understood this well. So again, we're trying to present this to you guys so you can start thinking. As president, what management approach do I do? If Steve Jobs was able to give experience to people through technology, how about you as president? How can you give meaning to your members and probably to the whole university through your management approach? So I wish we have a lot of time to discuss this more, but this is just to open our minds. Now for some techniques, which I think will be the bulk of our discussion right now. Another way of thinking. Our first lesson was also all about different ways of thinking. For the longest time, the world has been trying to manage time. There's a lot of training on time management. But Todd Duncan questioned that approach. Can you really manage time?
No.
Why not?
There's like this amount of time that you have, and like the thing is like you're gonna do everything, anything, you just like you cannot just try to put everything in that period of time into kind of a priority task, because if you try to do everything, you scrum.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
I might be wrong, but my answer is yes. Time can be managed. Time is a resource, and any type of resource can be shared, can be used just in a way that satisfies the needs, and that's viewed to that angle. Time can be used.
Okay, thank you.
Just to add a little bit to that, we have Steve Covey, who is one of the best time manager in all of the world. He's the one that even created the planner for the missionaries. And the fact that we prioritize things in our listing in our life, will help us to manage the time. So just like he said, if we think of only hard work, it's like objectifying ourselves and not humanizing ourselves.
Oh, that's a very good point. And that's how the world has been thinking about time up until Todd Duncan introduced this. So again, it may not be a versus time management versus task management, but something to consider. Zolgu, can you kindly read this, please?
Time traps can rob you of your success. As much as 75% of the time you spend at work or in your sales career is probably a waste of time. There is a difference between being busy and being productive.
By the way, this was written for sales people. I think the principles are amazing that maybe we can apply it in our lives. Can you please continue?
The sales expert, Todd Duncan, explains all the traps that steal your time. He shows why you should abandon the pointless pursuit of time management and instead adopt a far more actionable approach, task management.
And his rationale is that time is constant. No matter what you do, it's going to be 24 hours a day. That's why instead of worrying about the time, worry about the task that is within that time period. And so that's why, because of that, he thought about what. So the question now is, what traps our time? That we cannot maximize what we're doing. And so he even presented an analogy. Before that, yes, Anna.
Just a quick comment. I think, I don't know where I heard this before, maybe it's person else. It's not important how many things you do, because when you manage your time, you try to do as many things as possible. But it's what you do, what you accomplish.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing you do today.
Very, very good point. So hopefully we're beginning to organize our minds now that and consider that principle. What do we accomplish? And hopefully we'll be a little more conscious because we can make the choice. I like his analogy of chasing the wind. Roger, can you please read this for us?
The concept of time management is flawed. As a worker, you can't manage or time or control time any more than you can lasso the wind and tie it to a fence post. You can only manage your thoughts and actions. We have the know-how and the capacity to make time matter. The problem lies in the obstacles that keep us from doing it more often. These obstacles are the time traps, and the lives of salespeople are full of them. Traps exist to steal your energy and time. Education and avoidance are your best defenses against the time traps.
So I'd like to present to you this time, even propose, to consider this principle. What are the things that traps your time, that takes you away from being productive?
Facebook.
Okay, again, I will not say everything about whatever those things are. I'll present the principle and you govern yourselves. Because I don't want to be judgmental with the Facebook people here. No, I'm kidding. But, so here's the task. How do we, what are the different, these are the most relevant traps that people face. Zobo, we have a comment.
I was going to say, I think when you say Facebook, but we actually, for a lot of us actually use that to communicate with our club members. That's
Sure.
I think is very productive.
Correct.
It's so much faster than just calling or emailing, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's not as what we use, I think it's how we use it. You know? There's the things that we use all the time. We can watch movies, and a lot of people probably agree, oh, it's a waste of time. But we can actually use it in a better way, you know, right? We can learn. Like I said, education is the best defense.
Very
so it's
good
like
point.
using what we have and using the best out of it is actually.
Okay, very good point. Now that we're seeing and I know that in your mind you're questioning and finding, and that's exactly what we want to accomplish here. But hopefully at the end of the day, you start as we finish the principles, you make a decision for yourself, because you can't measure yourself. But the primary principle here is, what are we accomplishing? And are we meeting our goals?
One of the very relevant trap ever is the egocentrism. The fact that you see everything through the lenses of yourself. And this is not good, because you won't learn anything from others.
Yes.
And when you know that everything else matters, and you see them as the way they have to be, they should be, then you will learn something that will be very exalted for you.
Yes, and thank you for saving us time, because under the control trap is that one. So we'll breeze through this, but start questioning yourself and start observing what you do. Make an assessment and evaluation, and you'll have about a week after this class to really observe yourself. Let me just bring us back to the focus. We are trying to strengthen ourselves, because if we can educate ourselves and avoid these traps, at least try them and see how they can lead to your productivity. The yes trap. You lose time by saying yes too much. Who here is trained to be charitable and help everybody? Everybody should raise their hands, right? Because that's what we teach at church. But it's not always helpful. When we say yes too much, what is the consequence?
They will rely on
they know who to exploit, right? They know the nice ones. So what happens to you when you're always helping?
They will always come to
They have
you.
their time.
Yeah, they have your time, and it's always at the compromise of your own task. So if you're helping way too much, saying yes too much, so it doesn't apply. Wisdom doesn't apply anymore. So your academics, your social life, your callings, and then your responsibilities, they're always compromised when we say yes too much. You know, I know this by experience, but I have to report, I am learning more and more how to say no, and it's so beautiful to say no. Yes, Anna.
Like I think that the most precious thing that you can give to someone is your time, because you can have your back and you can be reimbursed.
Exactly. Exactly. When that's why you can never manage time, because it's the same thing, and when it's gone forever. And so, yes, please, tell us.
I just want to give up on that, because, you know, something that is happening in my club. It's they always late to gospel forum. Like we always set the time to start at 7:30, but we always start at like 20 minutes late. And I'm the kind of person that I want to start right on time, you know. And so that's where like I like where it says, you know, we can manage tasks more, focus on the tasks than the time. And that's something that I've learned in my club. It's, you know, like because once when the members are late and I'm there, I kind of lose the spirit. Like, and I always think, you know, I'm the leader, I'm the one who can bring the spirit here, and so, you know, I'll put the time aside, but I will focus on welcoming the club. And, you know, even though we're gonna start late, I always think, you know, positive of what I'm going to say. So that would be, I don't know, an example of, you know, focusing on the tasks that will help the students more, but not worrying about the times, because, you know, I mean, in other settings, yes, but in my own example, that's something that I think.
At least not yet. Take things one at a time. So imagine if you bring this to your chapter members and they start learning how to manage their tasks. Hopefully it will solve being late.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Definitely. Please.
I have a question
Yes.
for him. So do you start your gospel forum late because your members are late?
Sorry?
Do you start your gospel
No, like,
forum late?
what I did was because I saw that it's a pattern, and so what I did, like, at the end when I give and so I commit my chapter. Okay, you know, the gospel form is really important and it's something that we have to, because honestly I would say, like, Polynesians, they're always late, and I hate that mindset. I hate when people say, oh, Polynesian time. I told my club there's no Polynesian time. We're here, if we say 7:30, we need to be here at 7:30. And so, you know what, the other gospel form we had, the last two we had, the club members were there before us. So I would say, just be patient, commit them,
Yeah.
and
Just comment, because I know sometimes when I say to my club members, like, we're going to have our gospel forum at this time, they're like, but the Tongan club's having it, or the Samoan club's having it. And I was like, okay, we'll have ours at 7. And they're like, okay, that'll give us a bit of time because the Samoan club starts late anyway, so they already had that mindset. Whereas I made it like a must, like, we're going to start this time whether we have members here or not. If they miss out, then they're going to miss out. But so my members now know, oh, we're going to be late, and because the room we walk into, they're like walking into the front, and they don't want to be late kind of thing.
Sure,
So
yeah.
but I just know that my club say, oh, it's okay because the other clubs will start later. So, but I make our chapter early or whatever, so they can go to your one, but they already know whatever.
Well, yeah, at least we're observing what the conditions that we're in, and again, there's no really best way to do this than to educate and employ creative means to send the message. But hopefully, I'm hopeful that if we help our chapter members in managing their tasks and understanding the traps, what traps their time. So start thinking don't get me wrong, we are to help other people, but I think let's just apply wisdom. We should know when to say yes and when to say no. And I stand before you as one that always said yes, and look what happened to me. Because there's the value of saying no is it will categorize which ones are the unnecessary tasks. What are unnecessary tasks? If we are to simplify, in the life of a salesperson, in business, or even in organizations, these are the ones that does not help you accomplish your goals. So Facebook, if it doesn't inform our members, then it doesn't accomplish the goal. In the office, chatting with office mates, talking on the phone with with our friends, they don't accomplish our goals. So they're unnecessary tasks. And so if we say no to a phone call, it may be hard, but again, once we start focusing on what would help us, necessary are the ones that they do a lot of work, like paperwork and events proposal. Those are necessary tasks. And lastly, the productive tasks, as defined by Todd Duncan, are the ones that brings in the sales, the ones that helps you accomplish the goals. And so, if we can categorize the tasks that are before us, and say yes only to the ones that brings productivity, we should see some significant difference. The control trap. The 4 basic reasons Andre mentioned already. The first one is ego. These are the behavior. The reason why we are trapped with doing a lot of things is because first, we think that no one can do it better than you. And so you end up doing all of the tasks. Second is insecurity. If someone does it better than me, I will look bad. Hopefully no one's in this category. And lastly, the third is being naive. I'm fine by myself. I don't need anyone else. Does anyone feel that way? You can do it by yourself? Oh, you have a comment.
Oh, I feel that way. Like, I actually feel I'd rather do it myself instead of burden someone else to do it. Yeah.
I understand that actually. I had to learn it the hard way because I got burnt after one semester of doing it by myself, only to discover that we really need to learn how to maximize the human resources that are available to us. Any quick comment on what helped you overcome thinking that oh, I don't want to burden my chapter members?
Actually, for this point, I guess we can explore from two perspectives. One is like you don't want to bother your committee to do something else for you. But on their side, they maybe think you're a kind of ego person. You don't really trust them to do anything. You just want to do things by yourself. And if you continue to do that, there's no trust in your committee. It's damage.
So that's one possible situation. Tsunami?
Sometimes I have realized that sometimes you delegate something and then they're like, okay, you can't really trust them because I have done that and then I think, okay, everything is done. And when it comes to the gospel forum and I ask them, they're like, oh, no. So sometimes it's hard to really depend on them too, so you have to really follow up and so you have to have some kind of control there.
That's true. Okay, yeah, now that we're seeing that we need to manage some control, no one said no.
No, and here's the thing, I really understand Stacy because in the past I've experienced, the point is you feel like, okay, I can do it, but I really want to delegate the power to someone to do it. If the person doesn't do it the first time, the second time you feel like, okay, let me do it and show him that I can do it myself. I'm just delegating the power for you. But the point is, what's the vision we have in? And we just want to have a program successful, or we want to build someone to become something sometime in the future when that person will look back and say, if I can do this today, it's because this person has been at my side. Or you just want to look back and say, oh, that party was really successful. Do you want to have a successful party or a successful man? So if you look at that and that angle, you realize that, okay, it might be very challenging, but you better be successful in taking the whole team along until they get there than just to first burn yourself and second just have something which most of the time doesn't work.
Okay. So just quick points on what Noah mentioned. Again, it's a different way of thinking. Sometimes we're just trapped with how we think, oh, they're not going to do it. I know they've done this before. But if we'll remind ourselves, we're here in training people. And if they fail, let them experience failure. But hopefully we're guiding them. So, Stacy?
The thing is, when I feel when we have success in our club, everyone's behind me, everyone's there, everyone wants to help. I feel that, say if someone didn't do something, say if you assign someone to do something, they didn't do it, and then one after the other, like a domino effect, it crashes and burns. I feel like it's all on you as the president. It's not anyone else's fault but you. And everyone knows that who the president is. I always introduce my presidency every gospel forum, but everyone always remembers who the president is. And I feel like you have a responsibility way bigger than everyone else.
Yeah, and I understand that very well. Quick comment. President Hinckley once said, there is loneliness in leadership. And that falls under that category. No matter what you do, their eye is always on you. Last quick comment on that is, hopefully, we really would think what kind of management approach that would handle that certain situation. Let me just paint a picture. Hopefully, we're beginning to see that we know how to delegate, and we don't let ourselves be trapped into doing things. Because what we're supposed to be doing is overseeing them and continuously guiding them so that they would do their task. Unfortunately, once we start doing the task, it's always at the cost of other things. So, Roger, we'll try to get as much all
So-
the comments.
Last Saturday, food and beverage had an anniversary devotional, and my boss, the director of the department, asked me and another student advisory council, Nilo, to do the work, like to set up everything, like musical number, theme, the speakers, those things, and then we SAC members, we just delegate the responsibility to all managers, like setting up the chairs, food line setting up, and closing and cleaning up. And then my boss told me that the things that we have done is great, and she told me that she was promised that one of the managers that she wants to help her to peel the taro, but because she needs to conduct the meeting, so she refused it. And I think that's what you said, that we need to oversee and to follow up with the assignments that we delegate to our committee members. Even though our committee members will not have much time to do it, they can ask their friends to help them.
Yeah.
Because the managers have their employees to help the setting ups and the cleaning up.
Sure.
So
Yeah. Never leave your post. Your post is to delegate, and then you follow up, you guide, because once you start doing things, you can see the others from Talo, and then Zogo, and then
Just have a quick, you know, like this, it happens to me too in my club. I mean, there's some point you have to carry everything. It's something that I did at first is you need to get to know them first.
Sure.
Because I think that fear of dedicating your responsibility comes because you don't know them. And so like what I did is like, you know, just pull them aside, go and like if you're at the camp, talk to them, okay, what's your vision about this? What if we do this in the club? What do you think we'll do? So like even like having a cocoa night with them, not a meeting, but it's just a get to know gathering. Small things like that you do outside of, you know, of getting to know in the meeting to help get to know. And once you build that relationship, tell you what, it is so easy for you to dedicate.
that's very true, and it's been proven. Relationships is what carries a lot of tasks. So.
Well, I just want to, I think, who over here has a calling in the church? Pretty much everybody does, right? Everybody hold a calling before too. I think one of the perfect organization in the world right now is the church. Well, the only perfect thing right there. And so everybody knows how the calling was. There's a bishop calls you or someone calls you, and they don't really do the work for you. You have to do the work. But their job is to delegate the calling to you and do that. If you learn from our the church callings, how they actually do it, and I think everything is going to work really good.
I really like that comment. I've been to a lot. I've heard a lot of even entrepreneurs use the church guidelines as reference in doing their businesses, and they're doing amazing things there.
Yeah, quick comment. I told Johnny last time how I love this class. It's like a group therapy. You know, everyone comes together and you share your problems and you feel, okay, relieved.